In major
Rap
news,
beef, rap beefs. We love the beefs.
hey yo,
You don't like beef?
hey yo,
We don't eat beef.
we don't eat beef.
I haven't ate
But
beef my whole life. Fun
anyway,
fact. Well, I've had it before, but I have never ate
this is a super Ayo, but some people that are hungry for some beef
it. Mm-hmm. You want some beef?
is J. Cole, Kendrick, Future, Metro, Drake, and whoever else.
And the girls are trying to fight too now. I feel
We're
like
not bringing them up.
no, but just briefly, I think they're trying to do something because they see the men
We're
fighting.
skipping over them. They're not important.
They're not important, but JT and Griller is just. I
So
think they trying to feed up the hype, but it's whack to me.
J. Cole dropped an album. What's it called? Might Delete Later.
Yeah, yeah. So corny. First of all, let's start there. That's corny.
Might Delete Later reminds me of Drake's Honestly Nevermind title.
Yeah.
And If You're Reading This, it's too late title.
It's just like I think they're trying to be corny on purpose, but I don't know because they might just be corny.
Yeah. So for those of you that are watching this, she has a pure hatred of Drake and anybody that has lighter skin or is mixed. So
I do
before
not.
no, let me finish. I'm speaking. Let me finish speaking.
But I don't.
So she has a hatred for anybody with lighter skin, and Drake and J. Cole fit that description, and people that are mixed. So any opinions that she's giving or stating is purely hers.
I don't have a hatred towards them.
And so I just want to put that disclaimer out
I'm not
there.
racist or colorist. I don't have a hatred towards light skinned and biracials.
So with that being said, J. Cole dropped his album. Dropped his album, and aside from any of the other songs, because I didn't take the time to listen to them yet.
We didn't listen to that one.
We did listen to the diss track towards Kendrick, and I do have some harsh criticism, and I am more of a supporter of Kendrick, so I will put my bias up front for y'all.
Same.
But within my bias of who I like, I also am extremely fair in my opinions. So this was a response to Kendrick's Like That verse where he kind of low-key dissed,
High
I
key.
guess. well, high-key dissed. Because it wasn't even really a diss, kind of, but I get it.
It is, so. Because you're basically dissing the fact that the big three argument. Like, no, don't
Yeah,
put me in
okay,
that.
whatever. It was a diss. But it wasn't like attacking in a way.
No.
Not in the way that we think a diss is. It's just light jabs, basically, because we talked about it last week. It's just light jabs.
And he wasn't really like saying anything like, you're whack, you're this, you're that. I mean,
Yeah.
he said that your best work is light pack. That could be kind of a jab.
Oh, yeah, that's actually crazy. All right, so he did this for sure, 100%. And this was J. Cole's response. So to me, while I pull up the lyrics, so to me, I feel like this was kind of a weak attempt, low key, because I feel like this is one of those things where you would have used the type of bars that he used if you were throwing the jabs first. So Kendrick is being very specific in his jabs, and he's calling both of them out, right? So to me, the response from J. Cole, even though to me most of this was directed at Drake, to me you got to come just a little bit harder. And I know I saw some people were saying that Kendrick fans are making it seem like they can't admit when somebody has a good diss against Kendrick.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. Like if there's something that was hard, then
Yeah.
I'm the first person. Like I like good music.
Yeah.
So even though I like Kendrick more, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna not pay attention to somebody actually really dissing somebody, even though I might like Kendrick's more.
Exactly.
Now I did read the lyrics before I actually listened to the song, and I am happy to say that the song is way better than just reading the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the lyrics are still a part of the song. And here's the reason why I feel like this was a bad diss. Now, first and foremost, J. Cole's always kind of had some of the, like, he's a lyrical rapper in like the context of what we think to be lyrical.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a conscious rapper, but he's lyrical. I think there is a difference. But some of the bars, he said he's still doing shows, but fell off like The Simpsons. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Not good. Your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Good Kid, Mad City is the best rap album of all time, to me.
Yeah, but he says classic. So
he says classic, so we good there. Your last shit was tragic. I could understand that perspective. Tragic, I don't know, but I could understand maybe from a commercial standpoint that people didn't gravitate towards it as much as his previous stuff. So,
but still good.
Okay.
Still some hits on there. We played it. Well, not hits, but artistic sounded good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Now, here's where we're gonna throw a timeout. For the whole concept of him breaking down Kendrick's discography, it's such a fallacy
So
because you
lame.
can't put somebody in the top 3 and then try to disregard everything that they ever did then. So
Yeah.
basically you're saying that he had 2 out of 4 good albums, but you're putting those 2 albums you're saying are good enough to put him in the top 3. So it's kind of like weird to give somebody props, and because they didn't want to accept your props, now you're
Yeah.
gonna go back and say that all their shit is trash
Yeah.
because
That's
because
like my
you're
biggest
upset.
issue. That's literally like one of my biggest issues with this, because like from personal experience, I hate when a person is like a fan of you almost, and then when you're not friends anymore, if when you're like you're on the outs, all of a sudden everything that they said about you is out the window. So it's like, damn. So you bent on my shit was a sleeper, and we was friends. You was bigging me up. We was cool. We was talking. We was hanging. But this how you been feeling this whole time? So this how you really feel, or are you just sensitive? Are you just upset?
Yeah, it's weirdo shit.
I don't
Either
like
way,
that. Like, cause if I fall over somebody, you're not all of a sudden ugly. You're not all of a sudden whack. You're not all of a sudden this. If I didn't feel that way about you, if I genuinely didn't feel that way about you, you're not. But if I did feel that way about you, and now I expose that, you still look crazy either way.
Yeah.
Either you look fake, or you're sensitive.
Yeah. So this
and a liar.
This doesn't make sense. How you put somebody in your top 3 and then say all this shit is trash the next month? now all this shit is trash.
Now you're breaking down his discography, and now it's
that was confusing to me. So that's trash because you was on D.
Yeah.
In first person shooter.
The biggest fan.
But now all of it's trash and they gassed it. Your third shit was massive and now was your prime. I was trailing right behind and now I just hit mine. Blah, 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 blah. How ironic now that I got it. He wants something with me. Well, he caught it at the perfect time. Jump and see. Boy, I got here off bars. Not no controversy.
No.
I don't think Kendrick got to where he's at based on controversy either.
And my whole thing is, so going back to
he won't even be outside.
Yeah, but going back to the other part too, like, oh, now that I got it, he got something with me. No, nigga, you brought me up in the Big 3 conversation, and I don't think you were part of the Big 3. That's all. Like, you don't got something with you all of a sudden. You brought yourself into the Big 3. You got, now that you got it, now you bigged yourself up and try to add yourself into that conversation. He didn't say nothing about you. You brought him up into that Big 3 thing, and he's like, nigga, don't put me in that category with you.
Yeah,
I don't got an issue with you, but you brought me up, like.
Yeah. So the bars themselves.
I like J. Cole, but it's just sensitive shit.
Yeah, and I do like J. Cole. I just don't. That like is weird. Like the verse was weird to me.
It was very weird
because it was kind of all backwards. Like
it's like he went into with a discography breakdown. I was like, damn, nigga, you been feeling this way about me?
Yeah, that's the other part. Weirdos being in your face.
Yeah,
that's the type of people you got to watch out for, and not even just to preach violence, but that's like one of those situations where you got them snake people, and you never know where somebody might snake you. And
I have personal experience.
I don't know, man.
I have personal experience.
And there was some other stuff where he was dissing Kendrick, but I'm not going to get onto those songs.
And no, and he apparently was still going on this song too.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't gonna.
Like he kept going after that about like the whole.
Yeah, we talked through all of that.
How ironic! As soon as okay, now you said that. Well, he caught me at the perfect time. Jump up and see.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Oh yeah, he said that. Yeah. Funny thing about it, B, I don't even want the prestige after Grammys because them crackers ain't done nothing for me.
Yeah, let's stop at the crackers ain't did nothing for me. So.
They birthed you. Oh.
So yeah, one of the things, even though you have a disdain towards light skinned people, one of the things I do agree with.
He's not light skinned, by the way. He's biracial. Biracial people.
Well, yeah, sorry. Let's not conflate the two. Biracial person.
Yes.
That is also light skinned.
No. He's just biracial, so his skin is already light because he's mixed with white and black.
Okay, yeah, okay, whatever.
Well, no, but literally, the term light skin, dark skin refers to black people.
I got you. Yeah,
just nuance. But
people that are biracial, I get the leaning into the cool rap part because you are partially black.
Yeah.
But if you have a parent that also is white, it's super weirdo shit to me to like really go hard for the black side and then try to have any sort of disdain for the white side, especially when the white side is the one that raised you and not the black side.
Literally.
So them crackers, they never did nothing for me except
give you a roof, fed you, gave birth to you, got you, gave you education. Put clothes in your bag.
Bro came out a white vagina and said that crackers ain't never did nothing for me. And I'm not calling white people crackers, but in the context of what he's saying, that's what he's saying.
And people are like, oh, he's talking about the Grammys. But he went to the Grammys, and there's a picture of him and his mom at the Grammys.
And that's your mom. Stop disrespecting your mom.
And not only that's your mom, you're 50%.
Yeah, you're still
That's still your DNA.
It's still your DNA. Like,
you
people,
can't get rid of
it's
that.
so crazy to me that people be like half black, half white, but only want to claim being black.
Oh, and then people like to say that too. Oh, that's a black man. That's a black man. Like people, like biracial people feed into it with that whole one drop rule. No, that's not a black man. He's biracial, and that's okay. You're both, and that's fine. Like, why are you so ashamed to be both? Like,
yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. You're biracial. You're not black. You're not white. You're both.
Embrace it.
Embrace it.
I love it. Cherish it.
Yeah.
And don't talk to your mom that way.
Like, I can't imagine saying something like that, and then you gotta look in your white mother's face. Like, that's like do you not
That's
feel
weird.
corny?
That's kind of weird.
Do you not feel
It's
corny?
super weird.
They wouldn't be cool so bad, like leaning into this full blackness thing. Like, it's okay. You're not. That's what makes you unique. Your specific DNA. You're a specific mix. Like, you're not the same as me. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
We still share that commonality of having blackness in us. You still look like a black presenting person. Like, you have a black features, but you still have a white mom. You still have white DNA. Like, just accept it. It's okay.
And nobody say that everybody does, because that you understand what we're saying here.
Yeah.
Like, we're not.
Cause they try to say that about African Americans. Oh, don't you guys have 20% white in you?
I definitely don't.
Like, I still have 2 black parents. I still have 4 black grandparents. I still have 8 black great grandparents. So, like, what are we talking about here?
8 black Greek grandparents?
Great. Don't you have 8? Doesn't the math go 2, 4, 8? Great grandparents. Wait, great grandparents. 8.
You wouldn't just have 2 great grandparents? Oh,
You have 8.
It wouldn't it always just be.
You have 8. Your grandma's parents, your grandpa's parents. That's 4. Your grandma, your mom, dad's side's parents, your grandpa's parents. That's 4. That's 8 altogether. Like, your grandma has parents. Your grandma that we saw tonight has parents. Your grandpa, her husband, had parents. That's 4. That's your mom's side. Your dad's side is 4. Also, that's 8.
It would always be.
You have 8 great grandparents. So you have 2 black parents. You have 4 black great. You have 2 black parents, 4 black. No, I'm just saying again. 2 black parents, 4 black grandparents, 8 black great grandparents. So I'm just saying, emphasizing for people who are listening. There's no the way people don't get into my pool until way back. Like, yeah, they mixed in, but like you said, they know what we're saying. There's a difference between having your ethnic group having white made up in them versus actually having a white parent. It's a difference.
Yeah, but in terms of the diss, I think the beat was cool. I think the song sounded good, but in terms of the content itself, I would have expected something different. And there's a lot of like weird kind of lyrics in it, so it kind of
this too, right?
It was just.
It was kind of a weird lyric.
The rap beef ain't realer than the shit I seen in Cumberland.
Yeah, remember you were talking about that too, how he's like act like he's seeing something.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like
leading into that blackness and that hood, coming from the hood, from the Ville. I'm from the Ville.
Yeah, but you can still have that experience and still be biracial. I don't conflate that, but. With Drake and J. Cole, it's kind of a little difficult to get those kind of bars off to somebody that lived in Compton, California. Like, so it doesn't, like, it's not quite translating.
Yeah, like, what are we saying here?
You're not talking to like a pop star from like the suburbs. Mm-hmm. So the experiences that they're trying to get off as a thing you're talking to the wrong person.
Yeah, and both Drake and J. Cole, to mention them both, especially because they both seem like they're bonding over, right? Maybe this shared white motherhoodness, being raised by that white mother. But they both were also raised in like they love to try to say that like Drake started from the bottom, but they still were raised in like semi-nice areas. Like we saw J. Cole's house. Like it wasn't like he lived in a shack, So to try to like you're talking to somebody who's from Compton. Like let's reel it in real quick and realize who the target is. Like. They want to have this whole I got her out of the mud, started from the bottom storyline so bad, and it's not sticking.
Yeah, it could
stop.
It could for somebody that lives in the suburbs, because that's like a lot of people. That's a lot of their audience, because that's the only people that could even afford to go to their shows.
Yeah.
But the person they're speaking to, it's not going to ever hit properly, because look where he's from, and also from just a rap perspective.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in terms of rap technicality and rappers ever, I think Kendrick is the best black rapper ever. I would put Eminem as the best white rapper ever.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually rapping, in my opinion, I don't think that there's anybody better at rap itself historically than those two. Yeah. So even from a rap perspective, I don't even think they could really hold a candle to Kendrick, and everybody brings up the success of Drake, right? And everybody always talks about sales, right? But sales don't matter to me, especially because they're playing two different games. This is the same thing Kendrick said about Drake years ago. They're playing two different games. So if one person is making Hotline Bling and Controller, dirty wine and music, and the other person is talking about the black plight in America, yeah, no shit, people are gonna be Drake is going to be able to sell more. It's kind of like a no shit. They're playing two different games. So I don't really hear success because they're playing two different sports. But if they want to come through and play rap together, nobody's going to touch Kendrick. Like it's like Kendrick's not giving you a Simpson bar in a diss track.
That's what I hate, the whole like them trying to brag on the commercial success, because that's not what Kendrick's even aiming for. So it's like, you're like, who's the target audience here? Like, you're like, who are you talking to? Like, I don't care about that stuff. So it's like, you're bragging about stuff I don't care about. You know what I mean? Like, but he's actually there for the art and the real, like, the core of what rap was, it was.
Which is why Pusha T was able to do what he did against him. Because when it comes to rap itself, there's nothing that you can do about rap itself. And people can argue and say that Drake did more that diss did more for Push's career, because Maul said that. And while that
was a Drake guzzler, so I don't like his opinions.
So that may be true, but look at your GOAT. And not that because Drake, I probably have, in terms of music, I think Drake might be the person I have most music, or third most. Or
and we're always going to acknowledge he makes good music.
He makes fantastic music, and he's really good at what he does.
But like, when we're talking about real, like, the real poetic, that's why the nigga Kendrick got a freaking Pulitzer Prize, right? Like, we're talking about poetry, we're talking about real art.
Yeah, somebody actually talking about things that matter, right? Like, that's...
Not talking about how much money they got, not talking about the Maybachs and the trips to Turks, like...
Having sex with 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I am a big supporter of Drake's music as well, but one thing about me, and where I'm not biased necessarily, even though I might favor somebody, I'm not necessarily biased, because I can call out and critique anybody, right? And even the people I like the most, and Drake is one of the artists that I like the most. He's definitely in my top 5 listened to artists.
Especially his older stuff, where I feel like it was actually better.
But if we're going to break rap down, and we're going to talk about rap specifically, he can't. And Kendrick has put both of them in an unfortunate scenario, because they were on tour, and
Drake's tour is over now, right?
Right.
It ended in Jersey.
And J. Cole shouted out Kendrick, not expecting and Kendrick don't pop up but every so often. So for him to pop up and respond, that definitely caught everybody off guard. But nothing that they can do is ever gonna be enough, especially if Kendrick gets in a mode where he wants to reply, because that's the other thing. We also haven't seen Kendrick battle, but I feel like if he really wants to do this, it's gonna get bad. The thing.
We have no idea where Kendrick's mindset is, because one of the last things we heard from him was like that Baby Keem song, and Baby Keem said number 2's DMing my B. So that almost seemed like, all right, maybe we preparing. Like, maybe back then I was like, I'm ready. Like, I'm about to go hide in a little bit, but I'm coming back out, and like it's go time. So we don't know what's happening.
I don't want to say I'm nervous, but like it's kind of like, if I was those two, I would be scared, right?
I know. And everybody unfollowing Drake, so we don't know what Kendrick might have on him. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, what's cooking up. But I just want this to keep going. Cause I like this stuff.
Yeah, I like the competition of it all, but J. Cole's response isn't gonna get it done, unfortunately.
And look, he kept going too. Did you know that? I didn't really know.
Yeah, because he said he's
averaging one hard verse like every 30 months or something. If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him.
Yeah, we talked about this though. This is the one he copied, or maybe you weren't paying attention, but this is the lines he copied from Takeover with Jay-Z.
You know, I said we talking about it on the podcast. Yeah.
But that was the other part. Yeah, he's using other people's diss lines and his diss. Like, it's just kind of like.
And then to say that he wasn't dissing. If he wasn't dissing, we wouldn't be discussing him. Like, that's crazy, because like, no, like, you brought him up first.
So we were in fact
discussing him. He was hiding out chilling, and you brought up his name in a song. Like, he was like, what? Nigga, don't put. He probably listened to that and then was like, all right, I'm about to pop out, because nigga, don't put me in your conversation about the big 3. Like, no. Ooh, this is about to be good. Ooh, and the thing is, we don't know what's coming out with this Metro Part 2. What if he's on that album again?
Like that, right? Part 2?
Yeah. Oh my God, we don't know what's coming, and that's why they probably shaking in their boots. They probably scared.
Yeah, Drake was putting out words of affirmation to himself on stage, but that's the thing, right? Like, he took down his verse, or retracted his verse, or didn't clear it for BFP, the Pac-Man, whatever his name is. No disrespect. So we'll see what Drake's response is, because it's only, and it's, the other thing too is that with the Drake responses, Drake's only ever really went hard at what
Easy targets.
Meek and Kanye.
Yeah, easy targets. Like, come on, look at your goat. This nigga attack easy targets. Lame.
It will be very interesting to see him in this context. Not that he can't do it, because anything could happen. He could come out with Smoke Kendrick's boots.
We might have to retract all of this.
No.
Put egg on my face.
Like, he might smoke him. I don't think so personally. But at the same time, we've never seen Drake in a scenario where he's competing with somebody that's on a different pedestal. Because, you know, I think Future is like top 10, low-key top 10, at least maybe top 20 most important rappers ever. But
he's not lyrical.
Right. He's a different type of rapper. But what his influence has been on culture, society, and trap music, or just hip-hop in general, has been so much more than he gets credit for that it's actually insane that he doesn't get the credit
he's
that
like literally the top 3.
The creator of some of this shit. Like
Thug, him.
Like he's like legend when it comes to music. And people, maybe because his lyrical content, won't appreciate that, but no, Future has been doing this for a very long time.
Like since we were in high school.
Like even before that, like Future's been doing this forever.
The Migos, him, Young Thug, those were like the
before he was even named Future, he was still doing some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we've never seen Drake compete with somebody on this high of a caliber when it comes to rap and sales and streams. He's never gone at anybody at this level. So it'll be interesting to see, because from even, you know, people like to rap, I'm more successful than you, I sold more, whatever. And while he'll always be able to hold that over everybody, it's a little bit different when you're talking to somebody that has sold a significant amount of music as well. That's like, I think Damn has been the longest album on like a something. That Damn run is still crazy. Like that.
And Kendrick's #1 song as far as streams right now is Humble from Damn.
Yeah. So from a success standpoint, even that's kind of low key hard to do a little bit. But
you can't talk about Kendrick's success, like really, like you can't, like you kind of can, but not really.
Yeah, you can, because Drake is still more successful. Yeah. But at the same time, it's harder to say that when you're talking to him.
And Kendrick comeback could be like, nigga, you dropped 1 million albums. Of course, the more albums you're gonna drop, the more success you're gonna have. Like you dropped 1 million albums, I only have 4, so yeah, of course.
Yeah, but Drake said he hates people that do that.
What?
When people drop, like they pop out every 5 years.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, this could be 2 arguments. Because that could be like you're really mastering your craft, but also it could be like I'm so good I could drop so many albums and they're going to be hits on all of them.
Yeah, because look at SZA. SZA has 2 albums.
SZA has 2, and she's been out for over 10 years, like over a decade.
And look at that. Look at the 2. Look
and
what
Kanye
didn't
have that many albums until recently, and then he started kind of like, you know, upping the numbers with Donda and Vultures. But prior to Donda, we had like what, 5 from him?
Yeah.
And a collab album was one of those 5. So.
Look at Adele. Adele don't even drop that often either. Like how many?
Like Drake's the only one. Look at Nicki. Nicki only has 4.
Nicki don't drop a lot.
This is like her 4th one. So it was like, man, maybe you money hungry. Maybe you need the money. Maybe you gotta get, you know, the M's count different when Baby divides the pie. So maybe you gotta pay Baby back his money. Maybe that's why you gotta drop so much music.
Yeah, Adele don't really have any. She has 1988, dropped in 2008. 19 that dropped in 2008. 25 was dropped in 2015. 30 was dropped in 2021. And then she dropped 2021 in 2011. So I don't know why that was out of order like that. But yeah, it's about one album every 4 or 5 years. The distance between her 25 album and 30 album was 6 years.
Wow. Yeah. So like if you tried to criticize that, then you're criticizing almost pretty much every legend in the industry. So
even Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson doesn't have that many albums either.
Yeah.
But what he gave you was nuts.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
His discography is insane.
It's literally insane. Like there's like no skips, honestly.
Off the Wall, Thriller. Thriller is nuts.
It's actually scary to me that somebody could be that good
weird.
at making music. Like it's like it literally insane to me.
Every song.
Virgo.
Every song.
Virgo. We're perfect people.
But every song though.
No, literally.
Everyone, like nah, we not. Literally every single song, like this shit is crazy. But anyway, yeah, we'll see what comes from this beef. But I can't wait. Metro's album comes out.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Be looking forward to
now.
that, and we don't know what's gonna happen out of that. To be honest, cause obviously Metro has his beef with Drake, so that's gonna be a part of it.
Stay tuned.
And I just wonder what else is gonna come though, like J. Cole anymore. If Drake's gonna say something, because like, look, J. Cole's making threats. Like, don't make me have to smoke this nigga, cause I fuck with him. But when push comes to shove, I will humble him. I feel like that was a shot too, because his song "Humble." I don't know. I feel like a lot of people didn't catch that part. So it's like, whoa, we so scared of the biracial man. Ooh, should me some boost. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't have nothing against biracial people, but I do feel like there is a sensitivity with the ones that are raised by white men. I mean, white men raised by white women as single moms. I do feel like there's something there, but I don't want to get into that. Get people get sensitive about that topic, but I do feel like there is a similarities between him and Drake, and I feel that's why they're bonding over that. Because when you're raised by a single mom in general, you have more likeliness to be feminine. But then when you're raised by one that's outside of your culture and there's cultural differences that exist, and then you already have a kind of a culture, you already have like an identity crisis because you're a mixed man, but now you're a mixed man who doesn't even get to grow up with their black dad. I'm sure that's when Pusha T broke this down. He surgically and methodically broke this nigga down, Drake. And I feel like there's truth to it. Like there's a lot of identity crises and personal issues you have there. I feel like when you're already a biracial man and then the father figure that you have who's happens to be the black person that makes up half of your DNA is not really around, and you're raised by that single mom. I said mom. Like I'm like
Single mom.
Like I'm from freaking the UK.
Top of the morning.
You're single mom.
Single mom.
You're single mom.
That's that white side kicking it.
That's my
Yeah, that's that French 8 generations back. To single mom.
You're
All right.
annoying.
It's getting late.
No, but I'm saying like
It's time for you to take a nap.
No, but when you really dive down, like dig deep into the root of a man and pride and stuff, there's so many variables there. And there's no, like, people always like this girl on Twitter was like, oh, don't bring, like, why is it about race? But I'm like, first of all, I didn't create the society where everything's about race. Let's blame white people for that. But that is in the society that we live in, unfortunately, that is a factor. That is a thing that we have to, factor in when we're thinking about somebody's personality, their character, their pride. And I do feel like there is something there with both of them, with like that kind of identity crisis and like their personal feelings and how they maybe feel towards their blackness and stuff, and just their personalities and like their sensitivity, right? Like people always make that whole light skins are sensitive joke, but I feel like there's real truth to that because of there's kind of a racial thing that comes with it. So I feel like this whole don't make me have to smoke him. Like, ooh, I really don't think. I think Kendrick probably listens to that and laughed. Like, I'm not scared.
Yeah, because why are we still making the? Ooh, don't make me do it.
Yeah, like do it.
Do it then.
Like,
he already called you out. Do it.
He threw enough saludos. This should have been a straight direct diss. Say his name, put an ad on it.
Don't
like,
make me have to smoke him. What's stopping you?
Yeah, like it's like
You already were writing this song saying
Kendrick
this whole discography is trash.
Yeah, Kendrick put out he with the warning shots.
Yeah, let's see if you like that.
So anybody who responds to warning shots should be a direct shot. Like, you knows about you. So respond. He said first person shooter. So respond directly. Like, don't make me have to smoke this nigga. Ooh. But when push comes to shove, I will humble him. Humble him how? Like, come on, J. Cole. I like you, but humble him how? Humble him how? Realistically. Like, what is he humbling him on? Who's a better rapper? We can't even humble him on commercial success, realistically. Kendrick still has the better commercial success over J. Cole. Drake, that's a different conversation. If they want to go commercial success versus commercial success. But J. Cole, what are he scared of? Like, I can't. I like J. Cole, so it's crazy that I have this much smoke for him, but I just can't wait to see what's next. Honestly, I just hope it keeps going. I don't want it to stop here. I don't want anybody to be scared. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it going because it's fun. It's funny. Entertaining to me.